Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home.
Hi, welcome and hello. I'm so excited to be sharing a little message for you here, a little message that may come in handy this time of year. So I'm really excited to share this with you. This is really important because this time of year, we're doing a lot of socializing, getting together with friends and family, and there's food everywhere and there's temptations to eat. And I get it. I know what that's like. And I know how tempting it can be. And I know that this is when we often, as emotional eaters, will fall down on our resolve. Okay. So this is when we get into trouble. And I just want to talk to you about how to stay vigilant, but not through willpower. In my experience as emotional eaters, willpower is not going to cut it. Okay. We're not going to not eat because we're strong and we use our might, our personal might. That doesn't work that way. I don't have any willpower when it comes to food. Put a cookie in front of me and it's gone. My only hope is God's loving grace. Okay. My only hope is to get protection from temptation. And that might seem a little out there, but I have to tell you, there's a method to the madness. And I'm going to share, like I always do, some of the inner workings of the emotional eater's mind and how we get tripped up, how we fall down into that rabbit hole time and time again. So you ready? Okay, so I'm excited to share this with you because it's powerful stuff. And this comes on the heels of a call with my clients. I have the most amazing clients. I love them to pieces. And there's such beautiful, incredible souls who have a real passion for overcoming their weight loss struggles. Okay, so they've tried everything. They've been beaten up. They've been on that diet roller coaster ride time and time again for decades, some of them for 50 years, between 10 and 50 years. They've been beating up their bodies with diets, with, hacks for weight loss, and ending up in the same place over and over, or worse, putting on more weight than they lost. And, 98% of all diets fail. So they're in good company. But what I love about my clients is they are showing up week after week. We show up on Zoom, on calls together where we encourage each other, share beautiful things from the heart, and identify what those traps are, what traps us, what trips us up and gets us in self-sabotage mode. And when we talk about that and dissect it and sort of unpack what happens when we do overeat, we can be ever vigilant and we can avoid that trap next time, especially around times when we're going to parties and we're around all kinds of ooey gooey chewy foods. So let me talk about this. I'm titling this The Devil's Last Ditch because one of my favorite authors and theologians is Emmett Fox. And Emmett Fox was a minister in the 1920s in Manhattan. He's British. He was British. And he wrote an amazing book called Around the Year with Emmett Fox. And he gives it straight up. He talks about how to depend on God. Okay. So it's a beautiful message. How to clear away anything that's in the way of our depending on God. And the thing he talks about on this certain page, which was today's reading in this book, it's sort of like a daily reader. He talked about the devil's last ditch being our thoughts, like our negative thoughts. Okay. So we may have overcome this problem and that problem, but the place that the devil is lurking, the place where the devil still hides, is in our mind, in our thoughts. And I personally don't believe in a real devil with a pitchfork and, and a pointy tail. I believe in negativity and darkness. I don't even believe in those things. I think they're the absence of, positivity, the absence of light. Nevertheless, when we go dark, okay, when we snuff out the light with our overeating, and God knows, anytime we eat and go to town with some unhealthy foods, things get dark, don't they? Things do get dark. And I know that too well, having been 50 pounds overweight and having fallen down, so many times on my resolve to eat healthy. I know that when I would overeat, I'd eat a cookie and it would turn into another cookie and it turned into a bag of cookies and then a bag of popcorn. You have to have the salty with the sweet. I know that when I would do that, things would go very dark and I wouldn't have light. I wouldn't feel God. I wouldn't feel positivity. I would feel a whole lot of negativity. So I really think that is the devil. The devil is that negative force in my life that speaks to me in my own voice and talks smack to me. You can't do that. Who are you to succeed? Who are you to lose weight? Who are you to be thin? Who are you to find love? Who are you to, have a good life? Like, you don't deserve that, right? So there's all kinds of things that voice, that dark voice says to us. And when you're an emotional eater, that voice has been talking for a long time. And it is very negative and is very self-critical. One of the telltale signs of emotional eaters is the negative rant that our heads are on all the time, saying very negative things to us. We're so self-critical, so self-abasing, so critical, so negative, so mean and hateful. I used to say the worst things to myself, you guys. I used to say, you're lazy, you're a slob, you're a fat slob, you can't do anything, you're dumb. I mean, can you imagine? I never had anybody outside of me say things as bad and negative as I said to myself, not even close. I know some people have had abuse in their childhood and they've heard some really negative things from their parents or a babysitter or a priest or a nun, but most of the negativity came to me from me inside my head. Very negative though, very negative and very self-defeating. And how can you succeed when your mind is worked against you? Your mind is programmed to bring you down. So this idea of the devil is like right on. Okay. I understand why they call it the devil. I understand why people believe in the devil. It's, and to me, it is the devil. It is the devil. It's just that it's to me synonymous with other things, other words like darkness, our lower self, the absence of light, fear is, to me, fear is what it really is. That is my lower self. My lower self is fear. My higher self is love. And love is God. God is love. And he that abides in love abides in God and God in him. Okay, so let's talk about this devil's last ditch and where is it? So Emmett Fox says the devil's last ditch is in our thoughts, in our thinking. When we are talking smack to ourselves and discouraging ourselves from taking positive action. And this happens when we're wanting to eat, when we've been doing so well and we want to sabotage. So we don't just happen to eat. At first, it seems like it, oh, I want chocolate, or, oh, that pastry looks good, or, oh, they're all eating it, I should eat it too. Okay. But we don't just eat, we listen to our minds first. And in our minds are very dark and negative forces. Okay. You can call it the devil, you can call it darkness, you can call it fear, negativity, your lower self, whatever you call it, to me is immaterial. What we need to do is observe it and then talk back to it, talk smack back. Okay. So what my clients did on this call together is they put a voice to those negative thoughts. What are those negative thoughts? What are our minds saying when we're listening? Okay, so I'm going to give you some of these because I think you might recognize these thoughts. It won't matter if I eat that, right? It won't matter. Hell yeah, it will. It sure will. Okay. So when your head says it won't matter, think it through. Will it matter? Will you actually feel good about yourself when you eat that? that piece of sugar, that thing that will grab you and suck you all the way to hell because you won't want to stop? Will it matter? There's a good chance it will matter. Doesn't hurt. That won't hurt. That won't kill me. There's a speaker I used to hear, and he said, if every time you ate a hamburger or a Big Mac, you like, if the moment you eat a Big Mac, you drop on the floor with a heart attack, you'd think twice about eating a Big Mac. But because it doesn't hurt us right away, right? You have to eat several Big Macs and it catches up to you later after several Big Macs and fries and whatever other unhealthy things we're eating. It's subtle. It sneaks up on us. But if the moment you eat a Big Mac, you drop on the floor with a heart attack, you would definitely think again next time you're offered a Big Mac, right? So this idea of it's not going to hurt me, it may not hurt you today, and maybe that's too bad. Maybe you're lulled into deluding yourself, saying it won't hurt. When if you keep adding up all the times we say that, it ends up hurting, and ends up hurting because we get pre-diabetic or diabetic, we get heart disease, we get joint pain, we get inflammation, we get autoimmune issues, we get depression, we get anxiety, we get loneliness, we get self-hatred, we get negative thoughts towards ourselves, we get disinterested in sex, right? Don't tell me it doesn't hurt. Think it through. It does hurt. Let's look at some other of these devilish thoughts. Just one won't hurt me. Like just one, I'll just have a little bit. How many times have we told ourselves that? I'll just have one, or I'll just have a little. I call it the just one theory, when we're like, oh, I'm just going to have one. But then of course we don't stop at one. Who wants just one Hershey's Kiss? Who wants one cookie? Who wants one bowl of ice cream? So I've always just overshot the mark. Anytime I fooled myself by saying I'll have just one, I have been sorely mistaken. I've eaten way too many. I've eaten the whole bag, the whole, container, the whole carton, the whole pan. Have you? Has this been your experience too? Okay. So this idea of just one, watch for that. That's a devilish thought. Let's see. Everyone can have it but me. Oh, look at them. Everybody's eating cake but me. I call it self-pity. All right. When we're like, poor me. Alcoholics and Alcoholics Anonymous, they have a saying, pour me another drink. And this is true for us as emotional eaters. If we think pour me, we're going to end up doing it. Whatever it is, when we're feeling sorry for ourselves because everybody's doing it but us. When we think that, we end up joining them, right? If you can't beat them, join them. Well, this is a really dangerous thought. It's a devilish thought to think everybody's eating it but me. My experience is that there are a lot of people who don't eat all the crap. They don't have dessert every time it's offered. I'm dating somebody who doesn't like sugar. Can you imagine? He doesn't like sugar. He's like, the boyfriend before that, he was a total sugar addict. But this guy, bless his heart, he just has no interest. No interest. He doesn't even think to have dessert. He doesn't have a taste for it. I do think that's odd. But I haven't eaten dessert in a long time because I follow 3-meal magic, and 3 meals doesn't include dessert. And it's worked for me. It's worked wonders for me, and it works for my clients. But, this idea that everybody's eating dessert is just not true. We tell ourselves that because we'll always eat dessert, right? Before getting on a healthier plan, we're always saying yes to dessert, but not everybody does that. Really, I promise you, not everybody's doing that. If you observe next time your head is talking smack, next time you're having a devilish thought of everybody's eating it but me, poor me, think again, because it's probably not true. You've probably got some comrades in the room who they're not interested in dessert. They don't want to get fat. They don't want to feel stuffed and bloated. They don't want sweets. Sugar's not good for you. Okay. So you're not the only one who's saying, no, thank you. Try it. Just say, no, thank you. But when your head is telling you you're the only one and poor me talk back. Not poor me, not poor me. I'm doing something good for myself. I'm making a healthy choice and I'm going to feel good tomorrow because of it. Let's look at some of these other crazy devilish thoughts. You deserve this. Oh, you deserve to eat that ice cream after all the work you've done. Can you hear yourself saying that? I deserve this. I call it the I deserve it binge. Guys, I had so many I deserve it binges. Oh, where I just felt like I deserve this sweet thing. You know, I deserve it. I've worked so hard. I'm such a good doobie. I deserve this. And what I've told my clients and what they're learning to do is do a reframe. You deserve what? You deserve bloat. You deserve to feel bloated. You deserve to feel sick after you stuff yourself. You deserve to have zits on your face. You deserve indigestion. Is that right? You deserve indigestion. You deserve to hate yourself. You deserve to be out of commission for a day when your joints ache and you can't go out. You deserve to be under the sheets all day because you're bloated and you don't want to be seen. You deserve to stay anonymous and be lonely and alone because you don't turn your video on Zoom because you've got too much bloat from eating sugar. My face used to bloat so much when I ate sugar. You could see it. It was written all over my face. You know, so are you turning the video off because you don't want to be seen? You don't want your binges to show? You deserve what? You deserve all that? You see the reframe? You know, when our mind is talking to us, when the devil's last ditch is saying, come on, you deserve it. You deserve it. After all, you deserve it. Think it through. What do you deserve? Don't you deserve to feel good about your choices? Don't you deserve to wake up tomorrow and be so glad you didn't eat the sugar? Don't you deserve to feel good in your pants instead of like a stuffed sausage? I hate that feeling. I don't want it anymore. I deserve to feel good. I deserve to have my pants fit when I put them on. I don't deserve to just live in yoga pants. I deserve to put on pretty, colorful, beautiful things. And you do too. Okay. So watch it. When you say you deserve it, what are you really saying? Talk back to that voice. Say, yeah, I deserve to feel good tomorrow. That's what I deserve. Let's look at some other devilish thoughts. No one loves me. No one loves me. I might as well love on myself by eating this cake, by eating these chips, right? Because nobody loves me. Well, I call that self-pity. Again, I'm going to call it what it is. My mentor used to say, nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. I'm going to eat some worms. So he would say that to me, to get me to recognize that I'm in that hole of self-pity. And he used to say, if you wiggle your toe in that self-pity, saying, oh, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, my life sucks, I might as well eat. He said, if you wiggle your toe in that self-pity, it's like quicksand. It's going to grab your toe and suck you all the way to hell. Okay. So when you wiggle your toe in self-pity, it's like wiggling your toe in quicksand. It's going to grab you and suck you all the way to hell. Just that one little thought of poor me, nobody loves me. Okay. Another, always and never. This is a big trap for us. Okay. The devil lives in always and never, black and white. I'm always going to feel like crap, or I'm always going to be alone. I'm always gonna, be stuck here in the house. I'm always gonna feel like crap, right? Always is a trap, you guys. Always and never. I'm never gonna get better. I'm never gonna be thin. I'm never gonna get this. I'm never gonna have success in my life. I'm never gonna find love. Watch for the always and nevers. The devil's in those words. Okay, those are traps. And they're not true. I mean, my clients are feeling so good. They're blossoming. Their lives are changing. They're losing weight without dieting. They're just feeling so good and happy, and their spouses are noticing, and their kids are loving the effect, and how much more present mom is. It's it's working for them. But they have to watch for always and never. Oh, I'm never, when they have a down day. Don't listen to the devil's devilish thoughts. Don't listen to that darkness, to that negativity of, oh, I'm always going to feel like crap. When I had COVID a year ago, and my boyfriend at the time had COVID, he was so sick. He turned out to be fine, but and we didn't go to the hospital or anything. I had a milder case than he did, but I remember, and this is something I remember about COVID. I remember thinking, or he thought he would never get better, because COVID, it's not like the flu where, or for a lot of people, including my boyfriend, it wasn't like the flu where you have a peak, really crappy day where you feel like you got hit by a Mack truck, and then it starts to get better. It gets progressively better. My experience with COVID is you have a really crappy day, and then you don't start getting better after that. You keep having crappy days. So it just keeps going for a while. I just had a friend have that experience. She's like, Tricia, I feel so bad. I said, yeah. My boyfriend at the time when we had COVID, he wanted to die. Like, he was on the couch. He said, Tricia, I want to die because I feel like I'm never going to get better. And my friend said that to me too. I said, look, he got better. He got better than ever. He got stronger than ever. His body got strong. And now she's finally coming out of it too. And she feels better than ever. But she had days where she said, Tricia, I feel like I'm never going to get better. So there's that never and always. So it's easy to fall into that trap. And it's a trap of the mind. It's a trap of the darkness. It's fear. It's fear talking to us, scaring us, telling us scary things. I'm never going to get better. I'm always going to feel like crap. I'm never going to lose weight. I'm never going to be happy, right? I'm always going to be alone. So watch for these things. These thoughts, you guys, this is the devil's last ditch. This is how the darkness keeps us trapped in darkness. It's between our ears. Food is not the enemy. Our thoughts are the enemy. Our negative thoughts are what pull us down or what sabotage us. We don't just eat. We tell ourselves a lie and we believe it, and then we eat. Okay? So these are the things I want to bring your attention to. You've got to be alert. You have to be alert to what your mind is telling you. My clients are getting really good at catching this and talking back to the smack talker in their head. And that's what we have to do in order to heal. We cannot heal without going deeper. It's not about the diet. It's not about the food. Overweight is a symptom of overeating. Overeating is a symptom of what's eating you. Okay, so we got to look at what's eating you. And it's the same for all of us, all right? You're not as unique as you probably are telling yourself you are. My experience with emotional eaters is we're incredibly common in the way that we think and the way that we respond to life or react to life. And that's why healing in community is so important. That's why I do my programs in groups. My women are on Zoom together, looking at each other, cheering each other on, loving on each other, hearting each other. We're in our private Facebook group, sharing our heart, encouraging each other, cheering each other on. We have to do it together, because the love and the encouragement and realizing we're not the only ones who think these crazy thoughts or, have done crazy things with food. There's so much shame that goes along with being an emotional eater, and we have to heal that shame. We have to go deeper and look at what that's about, but nobody can take that journey inward alone. So we do it together. And with the love and the encouragement and coming out of the closet saying, hey, I'm an emotional eater. I struggle with food in this way. I've done crazy things with food. Oh, it heals right on the spot. It just heals us right on the spot. Love heals. God is love. And when we abide in love, we abide in God. So that's what I want to share with you. Fear is the devil. Fear is the darkness. Fear is where self-sabotage lives, or self-sabotage lives in fear. Fear thoughts that we listen to. And I want you to start listening to love, and chances are if your head doesn't tell you loving thoughts, you need to get around some people who can love you and tell you those loving thoughts so you can believe those thoughts instead of the dark negative ones in your mind. That's the devil's last ditch. Love you so much. I'm wishing you all the best. I'm here for you. Please reach out. I want to support you and help you have the best year ever. Thanks so much. Sending you love. Bye.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.